It's been a while. I haven't made a video in a really long time. I mean, and there's a reason for it. So the thing is, when I first started making videos for this channel, well, I mean, I started this channel a really long time ago, actually, but I didn't really get the wind in my sails to start recording videos, and that wasn't until I started tea. And that was because, I mean, I've always actually wanted to, like, make videos, because I am a person with ADHD and very strong interests, and I need to, you know, I have many things to talk about. I have so much that I just want to monologue about for hours, and like, if people, you know, if that means that people can derive something from it, like information or entertainment, that's even better. But the same, you know, also the ADHD means that it's hard to sit down and do anything. When I first started tea, that gave me a specific thing to make videos about that I always had information for, like, okay, so this month there's these many changes, and this month there's these many changes. And in fact, I did like stop uploading because after a while, well, there weren't any like exciting new changes anymore, because, well, actually, I mean, if we've been really honest, the majority of changes happened after the first year, but I wasn't like, I hyper aware of them because I wasn't like in that excitable stage, everything is so new and so exciting. It was more of a, yeah, now I pass and I live my life pretty comfortably, and like, if anything else happens, that's super neat, but I'm not like hawk eyes at it and like noticing every like single chin hair that sprouts, you know? And also, well, when I first started making videos, also besides being on tea, I had just finished high school, and I was at a period of my life where I had a lot of free time. So that meant, you know, having lots of time to do things, point blank. And that kind of dwindled as I grew older, because, well, that's, you know, you grow and you lose the free time to do things. So yeah, it just became, like, making videos just became kind of a chore. And I mean, I have so many things that I do want to talk about again, but sitting down and writing a script for it is hard, and I need to script, because without a script, just start rambling out for hours with no end and no, like, a hand in sight. And again, when it's something like as simple as, oh, it's been these many months and these are the changes that happened, that's easy. I just have to list off the things that happened. But when it's like actually like putting a coherent thought together, that takes some time, and it's hard for me to sit down and want to do. So yeah, I genuinely have things that I do want to talk about. I genuinely have videos that I thought of that I could do. Mostly, I would like to still, you know, talk about trans stuff, because that's one of the things that I have the most, like, information on in my life. And video games, maybe. I have a few, like, the videos that I thought about, like, you know, how being trans influences certain mental health aspects, as well as certain video games that have, you know, kind of queer coded, and even if that wasn't the original intention, that can be inferred from it, and, you know, explaining why people of the queer community, specifically like trans and, you know, non-cis people, might find relatability in them. But that's a whole other topic. I'm not promising anything. I don't think I'm gonna be able to actually sit down and do anything, but it's a possibility. If I can get my brain down and sitting down again, I might be able to, because I have a spoiler alert, I'm kind of taking a gap year, so I do have a lot of free time right now. But back to the actual reason for this video. So, I mean, if you've been keeping up with me on, like, Instagram, and I'm assuming so, because I don't think anybody even knows about my channel without knowing me on, like, on Instagram first, you might know that I just got top surgery. Finally. It has been a long time coming. It has been a struggle. And I'm so happy to be able to, like, come here and talk about this. So I'm gonna explain, first of all, the way this works here, how, like, the process, like the bureaucratic process to do that is here, as well as how it went for me, because as usual, it has to be special. Nothing has to go, like, you know, normally the way it should. So, and I would also like to say, I am an Italian person living in South Italy, yet I'm making this video in English for English-speaking crowd. Why is that? because there's no fucking information for anything in Italian and on like the Italian internet. The Italian internet doesn't exist, at least not in a way that I've been able to like find and like easily access. A lot of younger trans people also are like more turning to English, the English speaking internet for like information in general. So I'm gonna go into detail of how it went, and this like for me, to you, the other fellow Italian trans masks who have not found a single lick of information in the Italian internet and somehow are stumbling up into this like English speaking video. I'm thinking like, here's how I can do this. Because if I had this back in the day, let me tell you, things would have gone so much smoother. The way it works in Italy is that you can get top surgery both privately, like, you know, you pay a surgeon and they do your surgery, and usually the wait times are pretty short for this, like a month, 2 months at most. There's a few clinics that do that. I didn't really look into which ones. I know there's one in Florence that does both, like private surgeries and public health funded ones. And then there's the public healthcare surgeries, which are a lot longer, have way longer wait times, because you get into a wait list and then wait your turn, and that can even easily like take some years of waiting to do. There is talk of more, and I will link down below a Google sheet that a person has been compiling with top surgery surgeons. For some reason they haven't compiled the Italian ones yet, only the foreign ones where someone who from Italy can travel to, like in Europe. And I mean, you can look at those, you will need to pay for all of those, but it is a Google Docs which anyone with a link to can add to. If you are Italian and know like the surgeons and know who to add to the thingy, you know, just do it. Add the information. I know there's Ragusa, who is the doctor who's in Florence, who does both private and public. I did not opt to go to Ragusa, and for some reason it's not listed. Anyway, again, if anybody has the information, just add it in the doodad below. I went to one of the clinics that allow you to get top surgery with public healthcare is Clinica Del Mediterraneo in Ragusa, Sicily, with the doctor is Felice Garofalo. And it's in Sicily, which is pretty far out there for anyone who's not from here. It's pretty far out there even for Italians, because it's in an island separated from the mainland of the country. And so therefore it's pretty hard to reach. Florence you can reach by train. Sicily you have to either take a boat or a plane, and the boat is super expensive, so you know you're better off going by plane anyway. Again, it's hard to reach, it's expensive to reach, you have to stay there for a long time, because again, if you're going by car or by train, you can just pop in and go back home. But if you're going to Sicily, you're gonna stay there, you're gonna have to take a plane, you're gonna have to book a place to stay for a few days, whatever. But because it's so out there, it's the clinic with the shortest wait time that I know of, at least, that takes public healthcare. So the way that works is, again, in Italy you are not allowed to get gender affirming surgeries before you have changed your ID, which is pretty, again, I don't really like it. It excludes a lot of non-binary people. I know a lot of people who are non-binary trans mask who don't want to have their ID saying male, male name, whatever, and then have to do the whole thing, because it's kind of like very based on strict binary trans people. The idea is you go to a gender therapist who will diagnose you with gender dysphoria, outdated already. And then after you have the letter, it says, yes, I have gender dysphoria, yes, I can start hormones and get my name changed, and also I'm sound-bound to get gender-affirming surgeries. You go to an endocrinologist who will prescribe you hormones and get you started on hormone replacement therapy. After you do that, you are allowed to start seeking your legal documents changed. So get in touch with a lawyer, and all of this can be done for free, because if you make under a certain threshold, you alert the government of that, and they will let you do it for free, thankfully, because I certainly do not make enough to pay for any of this. But yes, you get in contact with the lawyer will start the legal process to change your ID and your legal documents. And after that, you wait for the bureaucratic times for that to be over, which can take many years. After you have your court sentencing that says, yes, this person is legally allowed to change their name and ID and also gets gender affirming surgeries, because that has to be like finally approved by the judge, like specifically the surgeries. After you have that piece of paper, you can start seeking out surgeries. You can't do anything until you have that. This can take many years for me, like starting out from starting out the process, like getting in touch with the gender therapist too. Getting the actual main documents changed, that has taken what? 4 years. Yeah, it took me 4 years to get to that point, to the point I could seek out surgery. The surgeon that I went to is the one in Sicily, because short wait times. I could have gone with the one in Florence. It's very well known. A lot of people go there, and for that reason, wait times are very long. I got in the wait list with that clinic, first of all, like first thing as soon as I got the sentencing, but they told me like, yeah, you'll have to wait until September 2024. And that was just, I mean, I could have waited that long, like push come to shovel, but my relationship with my chest dysphoria was complicated. I didn't understand how deep it went until I was able to do this. I always have had a very large chest, even since I was very small, and I am like a pretty like small frame person, so it was very evident. Binding has always been super hard because of it, because you can't get fully flat if you are so small and have a chest that's so big. It was always like a layer, like an extra layer on top of my body, like if this was where my body ended, this is where it ended, with the chest like smooshed flat on top, and there was always a visible outline. It was back pain, uncomfortable, chest pain when I binded, ribs fucked up from binding. There was so much shit going on with that. If I could have had it done as soon as possible, I wanted it. And so I contacted the clinic in Sicily. Now again, that clinic is harder to reach because it's all the way in Sicily. I live in South Italy, but not on the island, like on the island Sicily is. So I would have had to, again, travel all the way there. And that's the hard part, right? Because even if I'm not spending any money on the actual surgery, I would have been spending money on the travel, on the plane, on the Airbnb, on food, staying there, and like all the other extra expenses, because, you know, there's still extra expenses, like all, bandages that you have to get for after surgery, medication, the post-op binder you have to buy yourself, and then getting your stitches out, because you're not gonna be able to do it with the same doctor. And if you're gonna do it privately, that's also, extra money. So, the surgery itself is free, everything around it isn't. Since it is a kind of surgery that, impacts your mobility and your ability to like exist immediately after, I would have needed someone with me. My idea was I was gonna go and be accompanied by my dad, he's kind of like the traveling person in the family. Like whenever I need to go somewhere, he's the one I go to. My mom has some health issues, and she's not really good with like emergency situations in general, so she wasn't an option really. I'm not really like well connected to the rest of my family, and all my friends are like either long distance or they're all very, very busy. So, initially I thought, okay, I'm gonna go with my dad. But there were some issues there because my dad is in a really like tight financial and like physical situation in these times, so it was always going to be a bit contentious. There was a lot of issues with organizing the travel. Initially, I called the clinic in September of 2022, and they had scheduled me for this September. But the wait lines for this clinic are very like changeable depending on like who cancels and who gets pushed back. So they had called me back actually in January, so telling me that the surgery would have been in February. And that was fantastic. I was so excited about it, but I couldn't make it work because my dad could not make it work. Like, he didn't come here to accompany me. He lives in the UK, by the way, so that would have been like a significant travel, and he didn't have the money and the means to, and the time specifically to, take off work and come here and help me. So we had to postpone it. And they reconfirmed, like the clinic reconfirmed again, September. But there were some scheduling issues because they didn't like actually like lock down a date in September, just told me like, yeah, it's gonna be sometime in September, and then I didn't hear from them at all in August, which is worrisome because this clinic calls you back a month before surgery to confirm everything. And so I tried contacting them, and apparently there was a miscommunication where I actually would have needed to contact them first in July to schedule September, and so I didn't, so that slid by. But the good thing is that the wait times were very short around that time, and so by calling them in August, they scheduled me for November. But the troubles didn't stop there, because again, I was having issues with my dad coming here. He was in a worse spot probably than he had been in February. So things were like pretty complicated, but we managed to make it work because I ended up getting my aunt to accompany me, who wouldn't have been able to do so in like February. I had opened a GoFundMe, and I like was doing like commissions for it back in January when I thought it was gonna be in February, but that fell through, and I still kept all the money set aside, and that is the money that I used for everything. So yes, for anyone, if anyone who had like donated to me or like bought a commission around that time, thank you so much. It wouldn't have been possible without you. I made it work somehow. It looked very contentious for a really like long while. The entirety of October was probably the worst month of my life, with how stressful it was trying to fit everything in and book everything and make sure that everything was taken care of so that I could eventually get to Sicily and do this. I could list off what happened now, but I honestly am not even remembering it. So I'm just gonna make a montage of short vlogs that I made while it was all happening, and I'm gonna like put those there, and that's gonna explain the situation much better than I could right now, like far away from all the stress. For the actual surgery, so I got to Sicily on the 1st of November, and my surgery was supposed to be on the 3rd. On the 1st of November, I got to Sicily. On the 2nd, early in the morning, I went to the clinic. And they, basically, this specific clinic they don't have like a consultation. They just have a pre-surgery visit the day before, where they like assess everything and do all of your health checkups to make sure that everything is in order for the operation. The day before, I had this like, registration where I went early in the morning, and I had like a bunch of tests to do, like blood test, heart monitoring test, urine sample test, and then I talked to a general doctor who like asked me, what meds are you taking? What's your health history? Or is there a history of like health issues in your family in any way, shape, or form? Are you a smoker? Do you take anything? Whatever. And that, I did all of that. In theory, I was also supposed to see a psychologist, I guess, for like a last minute assessment, like, yes, are you in sane mind to do this? But I never did. And I guess they didn't have time for it, and they figured like, well, he's gone all through these hoops already waiting for it. Actually, like the morning of when I was admitted, there was like some issues where it's like the queue was being held up a lot by one person. So after they were done with that one person, they kind of rushed everyone along to get everything in time still. So I think I didn't do everything like the way I would have normally done it. But yes, I did a bunch of these tests. They all came out pretty clear, pretty good. I was a bit worried because before surgery, actually during the month before, like exactly 20 days before it, you are supposed to send them a blood test with a bunch of like things that they want to check. And all came out good for me, except that I was way too anemic, which I am. I have a blood condition, like I have an anemia condition, so I was gonna be anyway. Like I take iron supplements, but even with that, I'm still like slightly below the healthy range. So that was to be expected, and there was some issues because the surgeon had told me like, hey, your blood is just a little bit too low. Try to get it in check because otherwise you can't operate on you. And that was pretty stressful also, but somehow everything was good because the day I went there, everything was fine. They looked at it and were like, yeah, totally fine. That morning, I got all the tests done, and then I got admitted to the hospital. They brought me lunch. I stayed there for the whole day. Then I saw the surgeon. I had an appointment with the surgeon that evening. And he, looked at my chest, took before pictures, assessed the situation. He told me that I have a keloid-prone skin, by the way, so it's going to be very likely that my scars are going to be pretty, significant, which, I was expecting. There was no question about which type of surgery I was going to have because, like I said, my chest was very big. He looked at it and he was like, yeah, no, you have a lot to remove. Mostly, by the end of it, by the time I did get surgery, it was mostly loose skin. Because because thanks to testosterone, I lost a lot of breast tissue, and as well as just weight. I just had general weight loss because also like testosterone. So if I had a very big chest before, it was empty sacks. Like, they went all the way down here. And I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating. When I tell you, I can't recognize my torso now because I'm so not used to seeing my torso, because all of my torso was covered by boob. Always. And now it isn't. Anyway, yeah, there was a lot of like loose skin. I had freckles on my left nipple, and I asked him if I could keep them, and he was like, no, sorry. Not only are we gonna cut that part away, but also like that's a mole, and it's dangerous to keep, so we have to cut it off. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's sad, but I guess, you know, I can't really argue with that. But yes, I had the consultation with the doctor like the day before, and then I went to my room, and they told me from midnight on, no drinking, eating, ingesting anything. No by mouth from midnight on. I was freaking out the day before, because mostly about my health. I had never had major surgery before this, and I never been under general anesthesia. And also, there's a lot of like weird family history of like health issues in my family. I am freaked out that it went so well, because the way my body is, there's so many like issues and stuff. I really wasn't expecting everything to go well. I was expecting like my body to pull some bullshit last minute, but it didn't. It didn't. My dad has had significant issues with like anesthesia, so the night before I was freaking out. I was terrified. I thought I was gonna die. I was like mentally like preparing. Like I was mentally going through all the reasons why. I didn't want to die during surgery, and I wanted to wake up and have live with my new body. Yeah, I didn't sleep a lot that night. I woke up early in the morning, even though I was scheduled for surgery at like 11:10 a.m. And like nothing really happened that morning, just me waiting around and freaking out on my own. And then around 11 something, 10 to 11, something like that, a nurse came in to wheel me down to the operating room. And they just, told me to put on scrubs, leave everything in my room, take out my earplugs. I thought that putting in the silicone ones would be good, like they would be able to leave them, but they were like, no, remove all of them, even if they're silicone. So, I mean, not a problem. My holes have been like stretched out enough that it wouldn't have closed just for like 1-2 days, but I was still like hoping I didn't have to do that. Anyway, they wheeled me down to the operating room. It was so fucking cold. It was freezing cold. Oh my god, I was shivering, both because of the anxiety and because it was so cold. And there was all the stuff in that clinic was amazing, fantastic. I love them. They were so sweet. The one asshole was the guy who put my IV on as I was wheeled down to the operating room. He jammed this IV into my arm, and it hurt like a bitch. I could feel it through my entire arm. I made a face, I said ow, and he looked at me and he went, "Bit dramatic, are you?" And I wanted to fucking strangle him. Yeah, I am being dramatic because it fucking hurts. I'm pretty sure an IV isn't supposed to hurt this much, but whatever. Honestly, ironically enough, that IV was probably the most painful thing out of everything, which is good because everything else was really not that painful. But yes, he put the IV on. It hurt like a bitch. I was freaking out in pain, near tears, freezing cold, anxious out of my ass, probably having a panic attack, waiting for the surgeon to be done with the previous surgery and to wheel me in. And then when he got to me, thankfully the surgeon and the anesthesiologist both talked to me, and they were like very good at calming me down, telling me like, hey, this is like a very routine surgery, like nothing happens in this type of surgery. You are as safe as can be, and once you're under, we're gonna be careful because you said you have like family history, but once you're under, everything's gonna stabilize on its own. I have breathing issues. I have heart issues. Weirdly enough, I have blood pressure issues. Every single time I went to get a checkup, they've always told me to keep an eye on my pressure because it's always way too high. It has been too high since I was in middle school. It was perfectly normal when I was in the clinic. The only explanation I can give myself is that the fact that I was like the clinic was in a mountain town, so very high up, and maybe the elevation helped my blood pressure. I don't know, but it was weird. Like, it was the first time in my life that my blood pressure was at normal levels. Anyway, yes, everything was gonna be fine once I was under. I fell asleep. Weirdly enough, I was very aware of being asleep. Like, everybody tells you, like, oh, when you go under anesthesia, it's like blinking when you open your eyes, it's done. I felt like I was asleep. The whole time I knew time was passing because it felt exactly the same as it feels when you're asleep normally. And I dreamed too. I had a dream. I don't even remember it anymore. I just know that it wasn't really that negative. It wasn't super positive either. It was a pretty neutral dream, but I know I was dreaming. And I know when I woke back up, the first thing I did was ask what time it was. And they told me it was 2 p.m. So it had been like 3 hours something since I had been put under. And I, like, when I woke up, I was like still in the operating room being wheeled out. Like, everything was stitched closed, everything was done, but they were like about to wheel me back into my room. And then I just remember, because I was really nauseous, and which is normal after anesthesia, I just remember being like, I don't want to puke, I'm emetophobic. And then be like, no, it's fine, we'll put an anti-nausea medicine in your IV, it's gonna be okay. And I was just like so fixated specifically on not puking in that moment. But yes, I got to the room and I was so tired. Like, immediately after when I woke up, I wasn't like groggy or out of it. I was very conscious, I was very coherent. I just was like really tired. You know when you're like, your eyes are closing, you want to just fall asleep? But I knew, like, I held on to consciousness very strongly because I knew everybody in my family was freaking out about everything. So I just held on to consciousness so I could message everyone and be like, everything went well, I'm alive, I'm fine. And I did that. I couldn't, I just grabbed my phone, texted everyone, was like, hey, I'm fine, I'm alive, it went well. Put my phone on my side thing, and then closed my eyes and just fully out for like an hour. I woke up an hour later and I felt immediately better. Like, all nausea was gone. I only had some like dizziness, but that is because I personally have an issue where I can't lay down flat for many reasons, but it generally like, fucks with my cervical nerve. It just makes me dizzy, gives me a headache. I have to have like my head at an angle to be comfortable and to not get a headache. So I could tell that is because they had laid me down flat, and that is really bad for me. So I think I could feel like that my discomfort was because of that. So when like my aunt came to visit, or like an hour after I woke up, and I got her to like adjust my pillow so it was at an angle so I could sit up the way I usually do, that is comfortable for me. And after that, I just felt fantastic. Honestly, the whole thing, like, immediately after, felt no pain at all. My incisions never hurt, not a single moment. There was some pressure, some pinching in the drain site, but that was very minor. It felt a little bit like bruising, a little bit like, not sore necessarily, more like fatigue. You know when you work out a muscle and you feel muscle fatigue, that's how it felt, kind of. And it was really not bad. And immediately, like, everyone was like, oh, this went perfectly. Initially, they wanted me to stay for like overnight for another day after surgery. But the morning after, they looked at my drains and they were like, yeah, your drains are perfect. The clinic I went to, they don't like let you leave with the drains. They keep the drains in for like the overnights, like the stay at the hospital. Once they're not like fully bleeding anymore, they just take them out and just put you with like a compression vest so to keep the swelling down, and then you're off to go. They looked at my drains were perfect. They were like, yeah, no, you can just leave. I was able to stand pretty much instantly. I just didn't because the IV was bolted into the bed, so I couldn't get like away from the bed area. I could get up around the bed, but I couldn't walk anywhere. Didn't let me eat or drink anything still the day off because of the anesthesia still wearing off. And the day after, I was finally able to eat and drink again, and I didn't need to go to the bathroom at all until I was up again the morning after, which was good because it would have been pretty uncomfortable. I really didn't want to have to use a bedpan. The morning after, the surgeon visited me, said that everything was fine and I could go home. I was out and about. They removed all of the stuff because immediately after surgery, I had this cast, like a rigid cast on me, and they cut it off, and then they put, they showed me how to disinfect and how to dress my wounds, and then told me, they put really tight bandages around me. They were really tight, like they hurt and it hurt to breathe, and I couldn't like expand my lungs fully. And they were like, okay, so keep these for today, and then the morning, like tomorrow, replace them with the surgical binder that you have, and replace the dressings every day for like 3 days, and then after that, every 3 or so days. And I did that. I left the hospital and then I went back to the Airbnb, and that was it. That was it, really. Immediately, I was able to like be pretty active. Like, we took a walk around the town, me and my aunt, the day after, since we weren't expecting for me to be out already. So we just took a walk around and saw the sights of the city, and I was pretty able to do that. At one point, I was trying to hold on to like a full size water bottle, like not a small one, and I got really tired. Like it felt like my top muscles here were like sore. Like not as in like the surgery hurt, but like I was exerting myself too much, so I stopped doing that. But other than that, it was like pretty fine. Nothing hurt ever. And then on the 6th, we fly back to here. And the flight went fine, nothing happened during it. I was pretty, like, I was pretty nervous of that too, that something was gonna happen, that my stitches were gonna rip or something from the pressure, but really it was fine. Nothing happened at all. I got here fine, and I went back home. My mom came to pick me up from my aunt's house and like brought my bags back home, and everything was okay. Nothing really happened at all. There was some issues because I needed to find someone to remove my stitches because the surgeon who operated on me does this specific type of stitch on your nipples. The way to do the nipple grafts over there in that clinic is that they don't fully resize like your nipples and your areolas. They only resize the areolas, and they leave the butt of the nipple exactly as is, which was perfect because that was exactly what I wanted. I really don't like, too small nipples from top surgery. Not to be TMI, but I'm a pretty big nipple guy, so, and to have them like way too resized would have been like pretty weird. I'm really happy with the size of everything, how it came out. Anyway, what they do is that they do a tie-over bolster dressing on your nipples, which is basically they make a cotton ball soaked with like medicine, and they suture it to your nipple so that for the first week the graft has, it keeps moist and protected and compressed to your body. The thing is that is a very specific type of stitch. So you have to find someone who knows exactly the type of stitch and knows how to remove it. And I had to search for that, and that was a bit of like a moment. But I did. I found a surgeon who removed my stitches, both the tie-over bolster dressing the week after, and then the rest of stitches the week after that. So after 3 weeks, 2.5, I got all of my stitches taken out, which was very recently actually. Usually the surgeon wants to keep your post-surgery binder for a whole month after a surgery. But when I went to the other surgeon to get my stitches taken out, he took a look at everything and he said, like, yeah, everything's pretty much fully healed. And there's no more like swelling. Like there's a little bit of swelling, but it's like normal. There's no like fluid buildup, and yeah, everything's fine. You can just live life normally now, and that is fantastic. So I have been out of the binder also. There's other things that you have to keep in mind, like immediately after surgery. You have to sleep on your back and kind of like upright. The upright part wasn't hard for me, but I'm a side sleeper, and it was really hard for me to sleep on my back. There were points where I just woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep because my body wanted me to curl up on the side, and I couldn't, and it was just like impossible to fall back asleep. I had a neck pillow that I bought specifically for this, and it helped a lot, but it was still like not super comfortable. And so once the compression vest and the stitches are out, you're able to fully take any position for sleeping, which is fantastic. There have been some discomfort with the post-surgery binder because it's really tight, and it's like wearing a binder 24/7. It's just as uncomfortable as it sounds. My ribs hurt, my lungs hurt, and that was it. But like the moment I took it off, all of the discomfort like passed immediately. There was itching around like the surgery site as everything was closing up a little bit, which was annoying also because I couldn't touch it, but that is also like pretty minor. And also it was pretty uncomfortable to not be able to shower. Not gonna lie. I washed all of my body that I could wash, so everything except this part. But this part I could feel like was getting like gross and nasty, and I just wanted to wash it so bad, but I couldn't. And when I did get the stitches taken out, the guy was like, yes, now you can shower. And I was like, thank fuck. I just took a massive shower that lasted forever that night, and I am so happy to be able to be clean again. Yeah, I made do with like wet wipes for the underarm area and like everything around the surgery site, but it was still like wanted a proper shower. And yeah, other things to note is you technically aren't supposed to like move your arms too much after, but I immediately from the moment I was able to have like almost full mobility, I made myself stay still. And I think at this point it's because of that I can't fully reach up. Like I guess my arms, they go up to this, but any higher than this, like it's like they lock up, and I start feeling like pulling here, and I don't want to test it, so I'm not gonna like force it. I don't want to re-rep anything or like stretch anything too much, but yes, I can do this. For a while I couldn't like reach up too high, so I had, you know, my mom helping me with everything, like, you know, reaching stuff on high shelves and tying my hair and washing my hair, brushing it, whatnot, and helping me like take off shirts. But now I'm pretty much, I think I'm pretty self-sufficient now, like everything, again, almost full range. I just cannot do like, you know, the full up above your head thing, but I can do like this for tying my hair. I can wash my hair. I can pull shirts off of me, and I can reach shelves. So yeah, I would say I wouldn't say I'm fully healed in a like aesthetic sense. There's still a lot of stuff going on. My nipples have, the surgeon has put band-aids on my nipples for extra protection, and he says don't touch them until they fall off on their own. And when they do, then start disinfecting them for a few days, until like everything, like all the scabs fall off. But in terms of like my incisions are pretty healed. I would say like they're fully healed. I started putting scar tape, silicone scar tape on them already, and I can tell like that's already like helping a lot. I'm doing it in increments because the box says to, so I've only been wearing it at night for the past few days, but today exactly should be the day that I start wearing it for like multiple days in a row. Yeah, I think now is the time when I show you what's going on and what my everything looks like. So here's my chest. Oh my god, let me get these out of the way. So here's what everything's looking like. Like as you can tell, like the incisions are pretty much healed. There's some pulling here if I stretch my torso, but it's pretty minor. I've been trying to do scar massage around the incisions a bit. It's just annoying to remember to do it. I put a piece of like scar tape here because I can tell that it's doing a very minor dog ear, just a little bit. And honestly, I don't even mind it. Like even if it develops into a full dog ear, I won't mind. But just to be sure, since like the scar tape is supposed to train your scars to lie flat, I've thought that maybe if I like put tape over the part that's raising, for the most part, it's gonna like train it to lie flatter. So maybe it's gonna reduce the dog ear a little bit. I don't know, I'll see what happens. If it doesn't, oh well. I mean, there's plenty of pimples, but don't mind them. It's because, again, I developed all the pimples when I had to wear the compression binder. I couldn't wash it, so yeah, I know. They'll go away on their own with, like, you know, showering and whatnot. And that's what it looks like. I had to put a piece of tape on this band-aid because this bandage already, like, peeled off on its own, but this one is pretty snug in place still, so I don't want to, like, leave them uneven in case anything happens. So I'm gonna try and keep this on until this one falls off. Yeah, that is it. 3 weeks and sometime. I guess I'll do another update of what it looks like once more time has passed. I think in the next update I'm gonna do it like 2 months or something, because I feel like doing one a month is like too soon after 3 weeks. And I'll show you what it's looking like and what my nipples are looking like. Anyway, yeah, and here is when I put in the montage of all the videos that I recorded, and also comparison pictures of how it's been going since day 1 to week 3 so far. So I got a call the other day that I was going to get surgery in early November. Nothing's on the stone yet though. I don't want to hope on it like too much. Technically it is, like they did like lock down the date, but they had locked down the date in February too, and things so on to shit, so I don't want to hype myself up too much. Just making this preemptively. If it goes well, this can go into some like kind of like tear-jerking happy montage, and if it doesn't, then it can be a montage of my disappointments. But yes, I'm freaking out pretty much. I am very anxious. I really want this to go well, obviously. I'm trying to prepare everything that I can, like, while I can, but also, you know, everything could happen, everything could go wrong, and I could just get the date pushed back again, so I'm trying to think of it like, if I get everything ready still, many things will still be there for whatever that will be if it's not now. So, like, you know, getting the bandages for, like, the
post-surgery binder, or like pillow for like, everybody says that you gotta be comfortable and that it helps, so I'm doing what everybody else has said to do, and also, you know, just various supplies and stuff, and also the necessary blood tests. Like, I don't know if it's soon enough after November, those blood tests can still be valid. Either way, yes, I am freaking out. I haven't told pretty much anybody besides like my dad and my mom, because my dad has gotta come with me and my mom's gonna be, you know, she's gonna know that I'm gonna leave for that. But I haven't told none of my friends because I am afraid that if I talk about it as if it's gonna happen, then it won't. So until I you know, talk through with my dad and he tells me like, yes, we are doing this, I'm coming with you, we both have the time and the money to do this, then I'm not telling anybody shit. Well, the update is I did talk to my dad, and it's not sure, it's all still up in the air, but he might not be able to come with me again. I'm not gonna postpone this again. I'm simply not. I'll do it with or without him. It just means I'm gonna be on my own. It's gonna be a lot of money that I don't know if I have. And I still need someone with me because everything going on in the surgery. He's asking currently my aunt and uncles if any of them can accompany me, but it's a question mark. If they can't, I'm asking my friends, but it's highly likely that any of them would be able to, but you never know. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of stings. It's not his fault, like, obviously he wants to be there for me. He's in a very tight spot right now, and financially and like physically, so kind of to be expected. But it does sting a little bit because every part of my transition I kind of had to do alone, and I really hoped I wouldn't be for this. I am fine, I can do it. I just would have liked some support. So it's day 4 of preparing for surgery, and I'm still freaking the fuck out. I don't know how I'm gonna like organize this, like now that I'm fully on my own, because I need to book the plane tickets and an Airbnb. I need to book it for 2 people because I'm assuming I will find someone to come with me, either a family member or I mean, I've already talked to all of my IRL friends and they all are busy, but you know, who knows? Anyway, I need to book things, but I don't know exactly what the timeline is gonna be, because I know when I'm gonna go there, and I don't know when exactly I'm gonna be out. Question mark, question mark. And maybe it's gonna be easier if I just, instead of like staying in the city where the clinic is for like 10-11 days, if I just go there, get operated on, go back, and then come back the next week for my follow-up appointment. Maybe that might work. Who knows? I need to figure this out before I can do anything, so in exactly a week since I was given a surgery date, I don't know, things are looking kind of like more fine-ish now. Still like don't have any certainties. Trying to clear with my dad what I'm gonna do for like who's gonna come with me if he can't, because he still doesn't know for sure. And I still have to book everything, but we've decided on like exactly the timetable of everything, because basically I can't, it's gonna be a lot easier if I just go there for the surgery and then go back home immediately, so like 5 days most.
that I'm gonna be there. And then whenever they need to take off my stitches, I either go back for that appointment or find someone here to do it. It's a bit hard because from what I heard, basically the surgeon that I'm going to has a very specific stitching technique for nipples specifically that's like hard to take off, and he knows how to do it, but other people might fuck it up and take your whole nipple off. So I just want to, I would like to find someone here to do that, but I haven't managed to find anyone. No one's like done it, I think. So, because it would be easier if I could just like, go on Google and look up the stitching technique, look up my area and looking like, doctors in my area expert in this stitching technique, but they live in Italy. So that's not an option because nothing is on fucking Google here. You have to know people who have done it before. Otherwise you don't get anything done. I love being here. Anyway, either way, that's what I'm gonna do. And today I'm gonna try and talk with my dad to see if he has talked to my other family members and see if he found anybody who can accompany me. And I will book the flight and the Airbnb. And it's looking like I might. I mean, I'm not actually fingers crossed. I don't want to say like, oh yeah, it's happening for her because I don't want to get too excited. But it looks like it's gonna be possible, maybe, hopefully, perhaps even likely. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I just want to get all of the organizing parts done and over with, like so locked in, and then I can like actually relax, feel excited, and then start telling people about it. Because so far I've only told like my parents, my therapist, and my boyfriend. I just want to be able to know that I've got this locked in, and I just have a day to look forward to, and then I can just sit back, relax, and wait for October to just pass. That would be like fantastic. So sorry my hair is wet, I just washed it, but it's day 9 since I've been told about surgery, and good news, I've got everything locked in. My dad sounds like he has actually gonna come. I should be celebrating, right? I should be happy. I should be finally relaxing. And also bad news. I sent my blood test to the surgeon, and he said that basically I have anemia. I have like a genetic kind of anemia that my dad gave me. It's beta thalassemia. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. Basically, it's Mediterranean anemia. So it's pretty common here because I'm Mediterranean. And basically it just means that my blood's slow. My body don't make enough blood. And it's also very thin. So, which is funny because they want you to stop tea to prevent your blood from clotting, because tea gets, your blood thicker. But my blood is already so thin that all the tea does is make it better. So like, I don't know. I already take like iron pills for it. Pretty significant iron supplement, because I mean, it's pretty much like when I got like a diagnosis, it was like, hey, so your blood iron levels are so low, you technically should be getting blood transfusions. But let's just try this iron. And without iron, my levels are barely within healthy, but there's a few levels that are still a bit low. And I wonder how I'm gonna deal with that, because so I'm gonna try increase my iron. Because basically what I do is I take one iron pill every morning, but then it says, if it doesn't raise your levels enough, take two, one in the morning and one before going to bed. So I'm gonna do that and hope it helps. I don't really know what to do about that. I have already had my whole freak out yesterday about it. So, and right now, I mean, I'm chill because I feel like I've already felt all the emotions I could possibly feel. So I'm kind of like numb right now. I don't know, man. I'm gonna try and take more iron, and I don't know, hope it helps. I don't know. We'll see. I'll do what I can and upping my levels, and I will know when the time comes. And if I didn't do it, if it's bad and I have to go back home, let's just hope it doesn't get to that. It's only been a day since my last video, and I'm just still kind of freaking out. I don't even know why I'm still recording these, what I even
hope to get out of these, because if it all falls through, what is it just gonna be? Just like a montage of like how hard it was and how distraught I am. I'm just so worried. It's like, okay, it's up to my health. It's just, I'm doing what I can. I've upped my my iron intake, and I'm trying to eat more animal protein, and I am taking a potassium, magnesium, vitamin C thing. And I also, because my potassium is also slightly low, which is like, that's a lot easier to get inject apparently, but like, it's just like, my main like feeling regarding all of this is just like, why me? Right? Like, I can't possibly be the unhealthiest person who's ever gotten surgery. I didn't even think I was unhealthy. I'm like, this is just kind of like forcing me to confront like perceptions I have about myself, because like, am I unhealthy? Is my body unhealthy? I always thought I was like, well, yeah, I have some like chronic issues that I was born with and some that have developed later in life, but like, I would like to think that I have a pretty healthy lifestyle. I don't even do anything crazy. Like, I guess that the biggest vice that I have is caffeine, and I'm trying to reduce that for surgery, but like, that's it. I just drink coffee and take painkillers for my migraines that I always have had. So I'm just like, am I just really unhealthy? Is my body just kind of fucked up? Am I like, is my self-perception just all sorts of warped? And did I just not know how fucked up my body was until now? Like, surely people get operated on, and they're bound to be like people who are very unhealthy who get top surgery. Why me? Like, I don't even know that it's gonna be really hard for me. It's just that I got told, like, to my face, hey, get these levels in check by surgery date. And it's like, what if I don't though? Like, what if I don't manage to do that? What if I can't? Like, what if despite all of my best efforts, I'm just gonna be too fucked up to get surgery? How's that possible? Like, why me? I just really, really, really need to get this surgery. And I'll be so devastated if I can't. So, I don't know. There is no way that I'm just that unhealthy. Well, I guess I'll update whenever any news happens. I'm losing my goddamn fucking mind. Today is the 18th of October, and yes, things are chill. I talked to someone, I talked to a friend who also got surgery with the same doctor, and he said that he had the same problem as me, as being very anemic, and despite not really fully getting his blood in check, he was still able to be operated. Like, basically, apparently it's not that big of a deal as I thought it was, so I'm calmer on that. I have been taking more iron, and I hope that that's been enough. I've been eating fish pretty much every day. I have been having more headaches than usual, but that might just be because I'm trying to not drink coffee, just in case that might be bad. So, I don't know, I'm still a bit too anxious to really call it and say like, oh, it's happening for sure, because, what if I calm down now and something happens right now? And always, there's always the possibility of, what if the day of I get there and then something happens, But the important things are all in place. Right now, my most pressing issue isn't actually surgery, it's that my computer charger broke. And my computer's battery is already kind of fucked, so I need the computer to get full charge to work. And they've been stringing me along since last Friday. It's now Wednesday, on when they would deliver it, and I can't do anything without my computer, so I feel really stuck right now. I'm kind of panicking, because what if I have things that I need to take care of that I can't take care of because my computer is out of business? And also, I still need to find someone who will be able to take the stitches off here locally,
And I feel like I can't probably do that without my computer because I need to have everything in front of my face. Like my phone isn't enough. I need to have tabs open in front of my face on an internet browser, because then I can see what I'm doing and I can like collect my thoughts. Otherwise, it just feels all over the place and I just get overwhelmed. So that's been great. I've been feeling like maybe I can tell my friends now, but I need to have my computer first. Like when I can collect my thoughts and have everything in front of me, then I feel like I can tell people. So, I honestly feel ridiculous doing this, but it's less than a week before surgery. It's gonna be on the 3rd, and today is the 26th of October, so it's like, right behind. Everything's like locked up. We've got everything prepared, the Airbnb and the flights and whatever. And guess what? Things are going to shit again, because my dad called me to tell me once again that, never mind, he can't come at all. He's got something to do right on the 1st, so... And it's fine, whatever. I mean, I wasn't expecting it at this point, but I was ready to hear it, so I'll see what I can do. Like, I'm gonna make it work anyway. The trouble is that now he's like freaking out on me, because suddenly he's so worried that if he's not gonna be there with me, it's not gonna be safe, and that like, what if complications happen and you're so far away, and like, what if there's an emergency when you come back and then you have to like fly back and it's gonna take so long, and if it was somewhere closer you could just drive there, it's gonna and it's gonna take like nothing at all. And it's just, I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of all of this. It's not his fault, I get it. Like, it's not like he set out to disappoint me. Everything that's happening is outside of his control. But what I'm upset with is less the fact that he can't come, and more the fact that now he's trying to push so hard for me to not do it at all. And like, he's telling me that he wants to call the clinic in Florence to do it privately, so like paying, and have it done like within, January. And I don't know, I don't want that. I really don't. Like, I get the worry. I get the thing of like, oh, what if something happens? Like, you're gonna be so far away. But like, so many people travel for surgery. So many people go to entire other countries and everything's fine. Like, nothing happens. So why would I be the exception where, I traveled like to a different region for surgery within the same country that I live in, and suddenly like I'm dying? It's just not gonna happen. It's just, I don't want to believe that it would happen to me after everything. After all of this, after the hellish month that I had, worrying, full anxiety, trying to make it work, getting hard, like, I'm probably pretty sure I'm giving myself a heart condition from all the worrying that I've been doing for this month. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to find someone else to come with me, and I'm gonna have to fight him on this. Great, fantastic. This is exactly what I needed when I was so like, I was already so anxious because I was starting to freak out, right? Everything looked like it was gonna happen, and I was starting to freak out because it was starting to feel real. And now everything's, the situation's still fucking up in the air, and I want a fucking break. I want a fucking break from this life, from this family, from my brain. I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to deal with any of this. I wanted to do another update for this one, but I didn't really have the head for it, because Jesus Christ, did things go to shit just like in the last minute. There was a lot of stuff going on, me trying to like last minute organize things. But bottom line, I'm there. I went to the clinic. I've with my aunt, and I've been checked in. So yeah, it looks like I'm there. I'm approved. My blood is not as good as it should be, but they let me through, so that means that I'm good enough to operate on. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, given I don't die during surgery, which I'm just joking about because I'm actually really anxious. Like,
last few days I've been terrified. Like I couldn't sleep at all last night. Just couldn't, like my heart, my mind, I had palpitations so strong. I just could not sleep even when I wasn't thinking about anything. But I think I'm good now. I mean, they let me through, so that I'm assuming that means I'm healthy enough. And the structure looks like pretty, well managed. So I'm assuming they've got it handled if anything happens. I'm worried about anything happening still, but I'm here now. So, and I think I'm alone in my room. Usually they're supposed to do top surgery in like batches of 2. So you're supposed to share the room with another guy, but I'm alone, so I guess I'm doing this on my own, maybe.
And here's my hospital room. I've already kind of inhabited it a little bit, but this is where I'm staying. Woo. It's the morning surgery. It's in about 4 hours. I shouldn't be awake yet. Well, I can. I just would rather sleep until the time off. But I can't sleep anymore. Kind of freaking out. Kind of terrified, not gonna lie. Keep thinking about all the things that could go wrong. All the ways in which my body could be fucked up. And like, I don't know, do something weird while I'm under. Also, I'm so fucking thirsty. I can't drink anything. I have to stop. Last night, I mean, I'm hungry too, but I can ignore that more than the thirst. It's hard, kind of, because I'm used to drinking a lot of water. So I get really thirsty about it. And my lips are trapped and peeling also, which is fantastic. But everything else is fine. I feel perfectly fine besides that. And hopefully, hopefully I'll see you guys after it's done. And if I don't, sorry. Just woke up from the surgery. Well, I woke up like immediately after, like as they were wheeling me away, which I guess is cool because I don't even have to have like all that much weight. I just was really excited to be awake. But it went well. Nothing happened. Actually, they said like that there were no complications at all. And I took a nap immediately after. Like I texted everybody to be like, hey, yes, I'm alive. And then I took a nap, and now I'm fine. I'm doing great. There's bandages on my chest, drains coming out of the incisions. My mouth is fucking dry. I can't drink still because they got me on an IV of fluids. My throat hurts like a motherfucker, but they got me on pain meds, so the actual incision doesn't like hurt too much. It's a little bit of a sting. It's really nothing like I can cope with. So I guess now it's time for chilling, and then wait for my aunt to come visit me later today. Actually, really fucking relieved. It happened. I'm here, and it went well. Fucking crazy. It's the day after surgery, and I'm doing fine. Not in pain, still haven't taken off like my whole shebang. There's like, it's like a rigid cast. They're supposed to like take off like the day after. And then I'm gonna, wear my medical binder. After that, they looked at my drains twice, and they said they were really good. So that's great. I had breakfast. Thank God, I was so hungry. And it's been going great. I feel fine. A little bit of pinching, but like it's not like actual pain. And I can tell it's from the drains, not the actual incisions. So, yeah, it's going well. I should be dismissed tomorrow. Don't know yet what time, but we'll see. It's looking good so far. So I'm sorry my hair looks disgusting. It's to be expected, and I can't tie it up on my own, but I just saw my results, and they told me actually I can go away, like I can be dismissed. I'm fine. I'm doing great. It's way better than I expected, and I can't wait to see it all healed up, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm now exactly a week post-op, and I wanted to take a picture for it, but I can't because I have a really specific schedule of when I'm supposed to take off all of the bandages to clean stuff up and then put it back together. So I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So it's gonna be like a week and a day, or the day after. It's anyway. I'm not supposed to do it yet because it's I'm supposed to take off the bandages and clean everything up with the disinfectant, and then put everything back together every 3 or 4 days. Not every day. Don't know what the logic is there. I'm just doing what the doctor told me to do. Anyway, yeah, it's been great so far. I don't know. I've been doing fine. I haven't had much pain or discomfort at all. There are things that are annoying about it, like the post-op binder is tight, and it's pretty uncomfortable to wear. It constricts my breathing and my rib cage, and it's so itchy. It's the things it's not painful at all, but it's becoming so itchy. Both the adhesive from the bandages as well as just the actual incisions. They're not painful at all. They're just very itchy, and I can't touch it because I can't scratch it. So yes, that's maddening. But besides that, I feel fine. There's no pain at all. I get fatigued easy, but I don't feel I'm not in pain. I can just go through my day normally and not be in discomfort or pain at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Lower stamina, but no pain. It's been really nice. I'm really happy about it. I just I can't wait to have to be done with all of the uncomfortable things the binder and having to sleep on my back. I hate sleeping on my back. I hate it. It's not comfortable for me at all. And also I have acid issues where I need to be on the side, on my left side, because then my that's the opposite side to the stomach opening, so I don't get acid reflux. And that's been hard, but not undoable, just annoying. Besides that, I need to get my nipple stitches taken out on Monday, and I still have to figure out how to do that, because I talked to my family, and basically they all agree it's gonna be a bit too much of a hassle if I just fly back to Sicily to get it taken out, which yes, that's what I was thinking also. But I thought they would all be calmer if I did that, because they were so insistent that I see the doctor again. So I don't know, I guess they're all calmed down already from seeing how well I'm doing. But yes, I'm not going back to get them taken out, but I need to find a doctor here to take them out. And again, I need to take them out on Monday. It's Friday right now, and I still haven't found anybody. I found a few doctors, and I contacted them asking hey, do you do this? I haven't replied yet, so that's fun. I need to get this figured out today. Hopefully I can do that. And then, I don't know, hopefully Monday's gonna come. I'm gonna get the stitches out. Then I'm just gonna relax for another week, and then just get a nurse to remove the remaining stitches around week 3. And then I'm good. And then everything should be good, because, once all the stitches are out, the wounds are closed. And I'll still have to wear the binder for another week, but besides that, I'll be fine, and I'll be okay to sleep on my side again. I can't wait. And also, it's hopefully gonna be less itchy. So things are moving pretty smoothly. I found someone who will take out my nipple stitches, and I'm gonna go do that tomorrow. I'll update when that's done to say whether it went well or not. I'm assuming it's gonna go well at this point. Pretty sure the guy knows what he's doing. I found a doctor and I talked to him, and he was yeah, I know that kind of stitch and I know how to remove it, so just hope it's not too expensive. But all of my saved up money was for this anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty positive about it. I still feel fine, not in any pain. Starting to get a little bit sore,
but I feel like it's more from the binder than from the actual like surgery. Like, you know, it's compressing me. It's like sore in the way. Oh, I've been wearing a really tight thing that's constricting my lungs and my ribs for like a week now. That's the kind of soreness, right? It's not really. I don't know. I guess there's a little bit chafing on my nipples. It feels like. See, it's weird because you know, everybody talks about losing sensation in your nipples, and I'm like, yeah, of course, like that's to be expected. And when I disinfect my incisions, they feel really numb, but I've been feeling things around my nipples, like, you know, I mean, the itching around the incision, sure, but like I can feel the pressure from the cotton ball on them, and from the compression vest around it. And I don't know, the discomfort I feel is distinctly inside, like on the point of my nipple, not around it. And also I feel the cold in them. Like yesterday was really chilly at night. And you know how when you get cold, you feel like a chill in your nipples and you feel them tighter. I felt that. I felt that sensation in the place where my nipples are right now. I don't know if that's normal, if that's something that happens immediately, or if like I'm healing really well. Because like full disclosure, I never had a lot of sensation in my nipples before, like not at all. They were almost completely numb. And that's always been the case for me. Like, I don't know, I've never had like sensitive nipples. I feel like what I'm feeling right now is more than what I had before top surgery. Is that crazy? Is that possible? I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess I'll find out today because I get to see my nipples today for the first time. I forgot to record an update after I immediately like took off my stitches, but yes, I did get like my nipple stitches off. But I mean, anyone well, the doctor seems to know what he was doing. It was a lot more expensive than I expected, so ouch. And tomorrow I am getting the rest of the stitches off. Today is exactly 2 weeks and a half after surgery. Honestly, yeah, no, I wish I could have done like taken more pictures or whatever, but I haven't taken a good look at my nipples since they were freed because the other surgeon, he took off the stuff from them and then he immediately like put bandages over them and he said like, don't touch anything, don't take anything off. We'll take everything off like when you come back next week to get all the stitches out. So yeah, that's been that. I'm still doing great. The binder is a fucking pain in the ass. I keep like getting like under like ingrown hairs in my torso, and I feel them because like, you know, I had to shave my torso hair for surgery, and now I can feel like growing back and like ingrown because there's like pressure over it, so that's really uncomfortable. But like the actual surgery like side, it feels normal, and honestly at this point I just can't wait to take the whole shit off because I feel fine. I feel good. I am so over the medical binder. I just want to look at my body and exist in it.
I'm just so happy with my body right now. It's just, I wanna like, I don't even know how to explain it. I didn't even know how uncomfortable with certain things about my body I was until it was fixed. I was pretty numb to my top dysphoria because I always had such a large chest and I was kind of like used to it. It was kind of like, you know, to me it wasn't like this like pressing, constant pain the way other things about my body were. For example, something that I always had a huge amount of dysphoria for were my hips. And the hip dysphoria has always been like bad, right? Looking at them would make me feel gross and disgusting and it would make me want to cry and I would hate that it was there. I never felt that way about my chest. I just felt like, well, like it's there, and the fact that it's the shape that it is signifies something to other people that I don't like. But on my own, if nobody like had any assumptions about it, I would still rather it be something else, but I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. You know, that's the way it is, whatever. And if I could get away with just like, you know, showing it to the world without having people assume things about it because of it, I would, because I don't care. And then after I saw my body after, it was night and day. Like it changed the way I see myself. And I don't know how to explain that. It's just that my torso looked in a certain way to me before, and now it looks completely different. I guess it lifted not just the dysphoria, but like the dysmorphia that I had about myself a little bit. I just feel like I can finally see myself clearly. I can finally see what my torso looks like, and it's changed the entire like shape of my body. A lot of people I know talk about like immediately after like top surgery, getting like stronger dysphoria for other parts of their bodies because it's like, oh, this dysphoria has been lifted, so now I can have my attention drawn to other things. But for me, it's been kind of the opposite. And I guess maybe it's because I never had like super strong dysphoria about my chest in the first place. It's more that before I had every single other part about my body had to be perfect. Because that one was just like unfixable, right? So since that one was unfixable, it was whatever. I didn't think about it, but every other part had to be like just right for me to be happy. And now I don't care that much, just really, because it's like, no, it's fine. Like I don't have to have it be like super perfect. It's just like, no, actually, like, it is fine as is, because this was the thing I needed to feel, like, aligned. And I don't need to compensate with, like, other parts of my body being better for this one imperfection. Like, all of it is good enough that I don't have to fixate on every single other thing. And that's been really freeing. I'm just so happy that I've done this. And not to sound a bit dramatic, but it has been a new lease on life. To be perfectly honest, this has been a pretty low period of my life in this past year and a half, 2 years. And I think this was the thing I needed to put myself back on tracks. Like, it sounds like it's minor, because like, oh yeah, what did you do? You fixed the thing. There's still the other problems, but I think this is more like, I see myself better, I'm more comfortable in my own body, so therefore more wanting to fix the other things in my life because I want to live in my own body. Which sounds silly, it sounds stupid, like why wouldn't you? But I want to live more, I want to have a good life because I want to be this person in this body and do things and, you know, get things done and have a better life. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it, it's weird. I'm happy though, and yeah. And yes, this has been my immediately after getting top surgery announcement and tail video. I'll do a shorter, more like bite-sized update video in a month and a little bit, again, like I said, to not just talk about how everything's been healing up, if anything has happened, and that's about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back here with me if you have. I'm sorry it's been taking me so long to do anything with this channel, and again, thank you for being here with me on this journey. It's been a fucking wild ride. I will update you when I have something to update about. I'm happy to get at this point, and thank you again for everyone who's been coming with me on this journey. See you next time, and hopefully things are still fine. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be at this point, but yes. Bye.